This is Straight Up Talk with Sharon and Peter. We are both proud Brits and Canadians. This is a no-nonsense weekly podcast about people, life, leadership, and all sorts of stuff. We don't always agree. Hello, this is Sharon and Pete with episode 10 of Straight Up Talk. I'm Sharon.
And I'm Pete Johnson.
Don't know why that always makes me laugh.
Why does it make you laugh?
Don't know.
It's been my name for 65 years.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with you about that.
Okay.
But the topic this week, Chris, our producer, commented that we say we don't agree, yet we actually always seem to.
Pretty much, yeah.
So ever since Chris said that to us, I started thinking about it. And I think what we've realised since we've discussed this is that people often hear Pete and me disagreeing and they assume that we're arguing. But the truth is, disagreement is often how we arrive at the same conclusion. We're not fighting each other, we're stress testing an idea. So there are certain things that we perhaps may not agree on that we're not going to talk about here, like climate change and politics.
Yeah.
But before I go over a few things that we've recently had disagreements on, what are your thoughts?
Well, I actually think it's healthy to disagree. Obviously, you don't want to be punching each other's faces, but you know, it's in a relationship, particularly, you got to. It's no good being with somebody who, you know, we know somebody recently we spoke about. They're always agreeing, and one follows the other, and one says this, and the other one agrees, and it just becomes tedious.
Right. Well, it does to us, and I think that is reflective of who we are. So some of the things that we've disagreed about recently,
in the last couple of days.
Well, a couple of them the last couple of days, but one of them was getting an air fryer. So a couple of years ago, air fryers came out because I like new and shiny things, and I'm talking about let's get an air fryer, and you were like,
no, well, we don't need one. We got a frying pan. We got an oven.
And because you're the person who does the majority of the cooking, I thought, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And then one day I thought, nah, just going to get one.
Yeah, Amazon's your friend, yeah.
Amazon is. I thought, what's the worst thing that can happen? And then I got it. And now.
Game changer. Absolute game changer.
So
I don't know why it took you so long to order it. I really don't.
It was because for so long, let's get an air fryer. No. And there was no rationale to your position on why you wouldn't get one. But it really talks about your preference for stability, I think. Not one of the other things that we can argue about is I'm a bit more of a spendthrift than you are.
Yes.
So
definitely.
But you don't really give me a lot of grief about that, to be fair. And I've got better since we've got together. But it drives me nuts sometimes when you won't buy something unless it's on sale.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm always looking for a bargain, as you know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, the air fryer thing, I absolutely 100% agree. It's probably our best purchase in the last 12 months.
And you use it all the time now?
Every day.
So
every day.
There are times when I'm right.
Now and again. Yeah.
Well, something happened last week, actually. I was sitting there in my front office and we had, past tense now, a big green, I think it's a green ash tree in our front garden. And I looked out and I saw there's a big truck there and thinking, what are they doing? They're going to chop this tree down. So I go running out as I do.
Heidi.
Yeah. Excuse me, what are you doing? He said, we're come to chop the tree down. I said, what? You're not doing that. He said, well, yeah, it's got a green ring around it, meaning we had to go down the street. We're looking for all the trees that have been infected.
To come down, yeah.
Infected by this emerald beetle.
Yep.
So I said, he said, you should have been informed. I said, does this look like the face of someone who's been informed? So that's probably a bit harsh.
Yeah.
However, I knew that he was the kind of guy who could sort of take that. So then I come running in to you. He goes, it's it's not fair. They're going to take the tree down. Just do something.
Do something, yeah.
Just do something about it.
Do something, Muttley.
Yeah. And you?
My response was, well, I look outside the window. I can see it's a Haldeman County truck. 2 guys, all in high vis, all got the proper safety wear on, the helmets, everything. They're obviously working for the local council. They've been instructed to take the tree down. So nothing you can do is going to stop them. And then after a few minutes, after you'd calmed down a bit, I went out and asked them, because you said to me at one point, can we save some of the branches and we can throw them on the bonfire at the weekend?
Yeah, you said no to that too.
No,
so
they will no way will they allow that. Absolutely. They got a grinder machine there on the back of the truck, what they feed the branches into, and it grinds it up into mush. So they're not going to let anybody go near the back of the truck.
No, I understand that. I think what irritated me at first, and very often what happens with us, is we get very emotionally attached to something. And I was irritated because you were just so calm and you didn't want to do anything about it because we didn't agree on what should be done.
Mm.
And ultimately, as often happens between us, is that we calm down.
Calmness takes over.
Yeah. And oops, so you got to quit smoking there, Peter.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah. Is that we actually, I realised that you were right, because we're both quick to take a strong position on anything. And that's why it looks like often we disagree.
I mean, if it had been 2 random blokes outside hacking away at the tree, I probably would have gone out and said exactly what you said. But I took a minute. See, this is what I do. I assess the situation. I calm myself down and go, let me just have a look at it. What do you reckon they're doing, Peter? Right. They are council employees, obviously. They've got all the equipment, all the safety stuff, like I said. And we have had markings in the front garden for a couple of months. So that was obviously what the markings were for.
I know, but we're not supposed to guess.
No, but I suppose they have to get round in a certain, they take a route maybe. They do the most important ones in town first, and then they go to the outlying areas, and then we happen to come into that category. So, the markings were there for 2 or 3 months.
I know, I get that. And I think the other thing is the things that we argue about don't tend to be our values. I think we've got very similar values. So, and those are actually very difficult to compromise on if you have a difference in value. So we've both got very strong values around freedom and what that means to us, around autonomy and what that means to us, and equivalency, what that means to us. We've got those strong values. So we don't tend to argue about anything like that, because you can argue about how things are done, but when it comes down to our very core, we're very similar. We're on the same page.
And that's what Chris pointed out.
Right.
We are on the same page quite often.
But I think where we started from with these podcasts saying we don't always agree, that is true to begin with. But as I say, there's certain things that if we know it causes issue between us and it's not relevant to our personal relationship, then we don't talk about it.
Quite often it comes down to how many glasses of wine Sharon's had.
Or you.
Yeah. 2 or 3, we're okay.
So, it's not helpful when we can get, because I'm usually quite nice. When I'm drunk every now and again, I get belligerent, as do you. So we tend to.
Oh, no, I don't.
I've come here for an argument.
Yeah.
In Monty Python.
Great sketch there, yeah.
It is, but so when we break it down into the things that we don't agree about, there are very few that are in there every day in our lives that are challenging. But when people do see us, and we gave this example before, where they saw us at the horse show, and we're arguing because of the way that we do it. We let our emotions out.
Yeah, that was a normal thing for us.
That was normal for us. It's not very pleasant for people to be around.
No. So until they've been around it a few times, and then they go, "Oh,
it's just them."
Yeah.
Then they may see it as funny, but we know people who go through their whole lives avoiding conflicts. I always remember this one person, a friend of mine, and she said to me, my husband's not talking to me. I said, why not? She said, I don't know. I said, what do you mean you don't know? Haven't you asked him? She said, no. It's like, I could not understand that. And then a week later, she said, he bought me some flowers and some chocolates. I said, what for?
Happy ending.
I said, what for? She said, I don't know. To me, that was mind blowing.
So she never found out?
She never found out. But I could not live my life like that.
No.
If I have something that I need to say for a particular reason, I would never shy away from it. But I think there's a whole piece on how strong you feel about asserting your position and who you're asserting your position with. Obviously, we're not argumentative with other people, but with each other, we can get quite heated. There was the fondue set. It wasn't.
My God.
Well, no, I mean, that wasn't really anything we argued about. But again, it's another one of those.
Yeah.
I bought it.
You like all these fancy things like fondue sets. A fondue set, right, for people listening, is a saucepan with a few things that you use for kebab skewers. You know
so
you could buy a saucepan for $20 and a couple of kebab skewers for $10, and you got yourself a fondue set. But Sharon buys one for $4.99.
It wasn't that much. Good grief!
Anyway,
that was ridiculous. I would never pay that much, $4.99 for a fondue set.
It wasn't cheap. I know that.
And anyway, swiftly moving on to not that. So I looked at the neuroscience angle. Is that when people argue, our brains can interpret disagreement as threat. So the amygdala, as we know, that thing in our head, it activates, our adrenaline rises, our heart rate increases, the body prepares for fight, flight, or freeze. But not everyone's brain learns the same lesson about conflict. So for some people, conflict can mean abandonment, so they shut down. For others, it becomes rejection. So they turn out to be people pleasers, like this person I was telling you about. She couldn't have a conflict with anybody. She just was a people pleaser, which I found infuriating. And for others, conflict can equal challenge. They lean into it. So you and me, we've learned, based on our backgrounds, hey, I can survive this, right? We're both fighters. Various things in our childhood created the conditions where we are quite capable of standing up for ourselves. Yeah. We're not frightened of disagreement.
Never be afraid to defend yourself.
Absolutely not. And we both learn that through different paths, right? Yeah. So when we're fighting, it's usually about the idea, not a person. Like we don't go down, well, we do call each other names, but that usually is in hilarity. We call each other some really funny.
We've got some funny names for each other, haven't we?
Oh, we do. And we have some sweary names that we use, which ultimately they end up making us laugh.
Yeah.
Because again, it's our language. Psychologists call this task conflict versus relationship conflict. And task conflict can improve decision quality because you're exploring ideas, whereas, of course, relationship conflict damages trust. So I think we've got quite a good bank of trust in our relationship.
Yeah.
Because we've got those shared values, I think is very important. So here's my brutally honest takeaway of the week about always agreeing or disagreeing. Most people see raised voices and strong disagreement and think, ooh, relationships is in trouble. Relationship researchers would say the more important question is what happens after the disagreement. One of the strongest findings from the work of John Gottman is that successful long-term couples aren't couples who avoid conflict. They're couples who repair quickly after conflict. In other words, conflict isn't the predictor of relationship failure. Inability to recover from conflict is.
Very true.
Over to you, Peter, your thoughts.
Oh, I'll keep it nice and brief. Never be afraid to stand your corner and defend yourself if you feel like you should. And that's basically it, really. Just always defend yourself. Don't be frightened of debate, but never ever in any conversation on let's agree to disagree. That's very passive aggressive and doesn't normally work.
There's an interesting one for another time, actually.
For another time.
Great, that one. Let's agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Okay, in the bank, that one. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you want any more information or let us know what you'd like to talk about, go to the website beabetteryou.ca/podcast. This week's podcast has been thoughtfully produced by the Isle of Sound. Thank you, everyone. Good night from me.
And it's good night from me.
Good night.
Good night.